welcome to all Year 7 parents, wherever you may be watching this from and whatever time you may have chosen to do so. To replace our usual social evening event that normally occurs in October, we have put together for you a series of short video clips and some slides to just keep you up to date with what has been happening since your daughters joined us. I'd just like to remind you what our school motto is, and that is heirs of the past, children of the present, makers of the future. Whilst your daughters are still children, we will do our very best to turn them into the best makers of the future that they can possibly be. We do this by adhering to a very strong school ethos, which can be summarised in these 5 words: compassionate, reflective, inclusive, supportive and transformative. And we encourage your daughters to live out their daily lives within school according to these values. But now I would like to introduce you to a short video clip by the head teacher, Catherine May.
Hello to Year 7 parents and Year 7 carers. Thank you for tuning in, switching on, whatever you've done to access this video. Normally at this time of year we would be inviting you into school to come and meet all of your daughter's subject teachers and the year team that work with her. So her Director of Learning, the pastoral support and her form tutor. Unfortunately, due to current restrictions, we can't do that at the moment, and that does make me sad because we love having visitors to our school. You are a part of our community now, and so far we have not been able to meet you face to face, but I look forward to the day that we can. But in the meantime, the Year 7 team have worked really hard to put this video together for you. I would like to share with you that my first impressions of your daughters in our school have been incredibly positive. They are settled, they seem happy, and they are certainly learning well. I've walked around the school and seen some amazing learning going on. So despite whatever went on for them in Year 6, they've made a really impressive start to Year 7 here, and we're delighted that they are with us. So I hope that you enjoy this video, I hope that you find it useful and informative, and I sincerely hope that it's not long before we can actually physically welcome you into St Saviour's and meet you face to face. Thank you.
And now a short video from Ms. Kupas, our assistant head.
Welcome parents, my name is Miss Kupas and I'm a member of the senior leadership team working with Year 7. Some of my other responsibilities are admissions, timetable and the curriculum. And this is all about what your daughter learns, how she learns it, how we track her progress in order for her to reach her God-given potential. On the next few slides there's some examples of this. Please feel free to pause if you wish to read them in more detail and then simply resume when you've looked at them. There are more examples on the website in the Key Stage 3 area, so please feel free to look at those also. I hope you find this presentation enjoyable and you see how hard the teachers have been working for your wonderful daughters. Take care.
Finally, if you need to get in contact with any particular department, here are the relevant email addresses.
As a church school, we are very fortunate to have our own school chaplain, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to Reverend Imogen.
Hi there, my name is Imogen Viebert and I'm the school chaplain. The girls know me as Reverend Imogen. I've worked here at St Saviour's for 8 years and I absolutely love working here. So part of the main bit of my role at St Saviour's is obviously to oversee all of the Christian ethos part of our school. And in practical terms, it means that I oversee collective worship, which happens every morning in school. So that would either be in the form of an assembly or a thought for the day within the forms. So I oversee all of that. I help to put together our services that we have at Christmas and in March at Southwark Cathedral. And in normal times, every half term, I would be running a communion service, which is voluntary for any students that want to come along. And usually the way that I get to know Year 7s mainly is I would normally be running a breakfast club just once a week where they can come to school at 8 o'clock and they get a free breakfast, and afterwards we would take a bit of time to discuss some verses from the Bible and try to make those relevant to the students. It's really important to say that although we're a Church of England school, absolutely all of our students are welcome here, regardless of whether they're a Christian or whether they're a Muslim or whether they're of another faith or no faith at all. Everyone is really welcome in our school community, and I work hard to try and get that message across to everyone. So the other really important part of my role here is that I am part of the pastoral team, and if the students are ever having a difficult time in life, maybe anything at all to do with, home life or friendship or just feeling low in themselves, I'm one of the people that they can come and chat to, and I'm very, very happy to do that with any of your lovely daughters if ever they want to have a listening ear. So that's also part of my role. So I do hope that throughout the time that your daughter is at our school that I will hopefully get the chance to get to know her a little bit, and I hope that they will see me as someone who's around as an extra friendly and supportive presence in our school. Thank you very much.
It's now my pleasure to present a short video from Miss Francis, who's our fantastic pastoral leader for Year 7. We've worked together for well over 10 years and she's a great pastoral leader.
Hello, my name is Miss Francis. I'm the pastoral for the Year 7s. Lovely Year 7s. I love seeing the Year 7s coming from transition to St Saviour's or to big school. My role is to support our Year 7s as they transition and with all sorts of things that they might experience on their day-to-day of joining a new big school. I work with a wonderful team. I'm sure you, Miss Jonvier and Miss Kupaz and also Mr. Casey. As a team, we do all our best, our very best to support your daughter that joins this wonderful establishment school of St Saviour's. As a pastoral leader, I wear many hats. A hat that I like to wear is called being a second mum. Being a second mum means I support your daughter with her transition, her development, or any concern she may have, throughout her journey with us in St Saviour's. Sadly, we've not managed to meet this year due to COVID, but I can assure you that as soon as all of this is over, we will definitely meet. But one thing I'd like to leave you with, please rest assured that your daughter's in safe, caring hands with the St Saviour's School.
Hello, my name is Mrs. Elliot Janvier. I'm Director of Learning for Year 7, and hopefully you will have seen some of the newsletters that went out over the summer in lieu of a more face-to-face induction process. My job as Director of Learning is to make sure that your daughter can succeed and flourish in everything that she does by making sure that her mental, emotional and physical well-being are at their peak at all times. That ties in neatly with my other role, which is head of PSHCE. We have 4 drop-down days a year, and they cover different aspects such as mental and emotional well-being, relationships and sex education, economic understanding and financial well-being, and citizenship. But your daughter is also fortunate to have discrete weekly lessons of PSHE, and in those we study things like friendship issues, bullying, how to get on well with family, healthy living, things like sleep, use of screen time, and so on. In terms of your daughter's progress, I know you'll be anxious to know how that will work, especially as this is quite a different year. As a school, there are 3 points in time when we communicate with you about how well your daughter is doing. One is in December, when we issue our records of progress. The next time is in February, when we have a parents' evening. This year, we're very likely to have virtual parents' evenings, and very soon we'll be doing that with our Year 10s for the first time. So we'll be getting used to that progress, but I'm sure that will work well. The final point of contact to communicate about your daughter's progress is in July, when we issue our final set of records of progress, and they are based on end-of-year exams. One thing I was really sure in my mind about when your daughter joined us in Year 7 was that we weren't going to start the year with a series of tests. After a difficult lockdown situation where many of them, and most of them in fact, missed a good part of their Year 6, missed their SATs, missed all those lovely things that they had been looking forward to, such as the sports day, end of year productions and so on, all I wanted was for them to settle down as best they could. And that has been our focus and will continue to be our focus until the end of the December term. After that, there will be some testing, and there will be one subject which will be put into sets, and that is maths. That will take place early in January, but no need to worry about that. Your daughters are all doing very well so far. There are more slides to come, which I will be giving a voiceover to, and hopefully you will find all of this useful and interesting. Thank you.
It must be hard for you, since you can't come into school at the moment, to get a feel for your daughter's experience. I'd just like to say that your daughter is on a journey with us, and that journey started in September, and it will go right on until 2027. So she will have started off as a schoolgirl in her uniform, and on the bottom right you can see a picture of some sixth formers at their prom at the end of Year 13, and that's quite some journey. But what's the so far for your daughter in Year 7? Well, I've got a few slides for you to have a look at. First of all, we've now elected our school council representatives, and you can read the names as they are there. We also have Year 7 prefects, and that is another tradition. These are our Year 13 students who are really committed to the social and emotional transition and integration of your daughters into the forms that they represent. So this year we have Reuben, Brittany, Holly, Monet and Bonita. They currently make virtual contact via the electronic whiteboard in your daughter's form room, and they are there to support them as elder sisters in a way. A few photos at the top left and the bottom left. We have an ICT lesson in the library. There is also a PE lesson in the playground, and then a photo of all our newly elected school council members together. Here's a picture of our Year 7 notice board, and we tried to keep that as up to date as possible with obviously minute that is very much focusing around hand sanitizer and masks, having your own equipment, making sure you bring water and a healthier snack into school, and not forgetting your diary, which must be with you every day. We had a fantastic programme for Black History Month. I appreciate that that's not very legible, but there were all sorts of events going on every lunchtime, hosted by teachers on topics such as culture, famous Black people who have changed the world, fashion, hairstyles, you know, just to name a few of them. And that went down really well. We also had our Harvest Festival, and later on you will see pictures of each form with the incredible amount of generous gifts that you helped them to donate. So a big thank you to all of you for that. And those gifts go to 2 local charities for the homeless, including the Manor Centre. And finally, for Black History, we had a door competition. 7 Yellow won the winners of the best content. 7 Red provided the best team effort and won that award. And 7 Blue won the best creativity award. And now you're going to hear from each of the 5 form tutors and a little bit of information about their forms as well.
Hello, my name is Miss Janet and I am 7 Blue's form tutor. My tutors have settled well at St. Saviour's in St. Olave's, and it has been a rewarding experience seeing them getting accustomed to secondary school and seeing them growing in confidence and familiarity in the new environment despite the ongoing challenges. The girls are very polite and respectful towards members of staff. They are also supportive with one another and have developed good friendships. Although they have joined SSO about 8 weeks ago, they have demonstrated the principles of our school ethos with consistency. I was particularly amazed at how reflective and self-aware they are about their education and identity. And this is especially evident during our assemblies and Thought for Today. As well as being their form tutor, I'm also their religious studies teacher. We're currently studying about a unit called Critical Realism, and the girls have responded incredibly well to the complex philosophical questions that were posed to them. They also have been making sophisticated and thoughtful contributions during class discussions. I have also received positive feedback from other subject teachers, including art, geography and ICT, and I look forward to receive much more. I'm very happy to be 7 Blue's form tutor, and I look forward to working with parents and carers who I would like to thank for their constant support.
So, and now to each of the individual forms, starting off with 7 Blue. And here they are all pictured around the table bearing their generous gifts for Harvest Festival. In an art lesson, they were given the task to create poems around colours. And they have done this with great skill and great talent, and we've clearly got some very budding artists within this form. Funnily enough, the only colour that I don't have a poem for them from is the colour blue. I said they were budding artists, and these are some shots of their winning door, which, as you may remember, won the Creativity Prize for the Black Lives Matter door competition.
Hello, parents and carers of students in 7 Green. I'd like to introduce myself to you. I'm Mrs. Clayton, and I'm very proud to be their tutor, alongside Miss Gilligan, who is our co-tutor. I'm an English teacher who's been at St. Saviour's for 10 years now. And in recent years, I've been a tutor of years 12, 13, 9, 10 and 11. So it really is lovely to be with the younger students again. I want to say that every day I am impressed and inspired by their energy and by their enthusiasm. And I've noticed that they've very quickly become a close-knit group and a very caring group who put into practice our school ethos values, such as being supportive of each other and being compassionate. I feel like I've got to know the class quite well already, having recently spent the PSHCE day with them, as well as our daily assembly and Thought for the Day sessions. It's wonderful to see how enthusiastically they take part in Thought for the Day and to hear their thoughts and ideas and opinions. Putting into practice another of our school values, which is being reflective. We recently held elections for school council tutor group representative and deputy, and I was so impressed by how seriously the girls took this, in the way that they prepared their speeches very thoroughly, in the way that they, almost all of them, wanted to participate. But I think most importantly, how well they listened to each other, and in that they demonstrated inclusivity. And also they were very respectful to the way that they listened to each other. I've noticed that as a class they seem to be very ambitious and very creative, and I truly believe that they will go on to be the makers of the future, as our school motto suggests. The future is in very safe hands. I'd just like to end by reminding you that I put my contact details in the girls' homework diaries, and I would encourage you to get in touch with me if I can be of any assistance. And I hope to get to know you all and meet you in person very soon.
And here's the lovely Severn Green, gathered around their table and bearing the harvest goods and looking very cheery about it. And their, or part of, their entry for the Black History Month door with some key people, as you can see.
Hello, my name is Miss Braulio. I'm Seven Orange tutor, and here at St. Saviour's and St. Olave's I'm a language teacher. My specialty is Spanish, but I'm here to support your daughter in everything that I can. As you might know already, all the girls are divided in bubbles, and year 7s are all together. This is quite a good opportunity for them to get used to secondary school, but also to get to know each other better and to form their friendships. Our next big school break is going to be Christmas, and at Seven Orange we are very excited because only today we already planned our Secret Santa. No expensive presents are needed, just like maybe some nice home card with some nice words in it. It could be maybe some arts and crafts. It's the thought that counts, and not really, no expensive present is needed really. And I'm really looking forward for the day that we can meet face to face. Until then, we still don't know when it will be, but until then you can always contact me by email or any other way that could be possible. And that's it for me. Bye.
And here are a couple of photos from Seven Orange with their harvest goods and their door entry for the Black History Month door competition.
Hello, it's lovely to meet you all, albeit virtually. I'm Seven Red's form tutor this year, and I've had a real amazing experience the last 2 months getting to know your daughters. We've done an absolute range of things already. Firstly, we've managed to kind of communicate and work together as a group despite all these COVID restrictions that we've got going on. We've managed to be respectful and safe in a time where actually being able to do those things has been harder than ever. We've got to know each other very well so far, and through things like our Black History Month door that we're about to present to the rest of Year 7 on Friday, and we've been working on a lot at home and in school, and also through things such as the board behind me. We've been doing things to do with Seven Red's inspirational person. I can tell you for a fact that lots of you as parental figures or guardians featured a lot on this board. So that was a really beautiful insight that I got into your daughters' lives and who they really care about and who are their influential people at the moment. We've also voted in Genesis and Betty as our school deputy council leads, which is fantastic. So now together as a class we're thinking about different ways in which already, despite being here for only a month, we can develop our school further. So they are becoming, you know, very well-rounded young women, and it's a real pleasure to be working with them at the moment. One thing that's been fantastic in terms of coronavirus, and I never thought that I would say that as an expression, but I am saying it and I'm going with it. But one thing that has been fantastic is that we now have a platform called Google Classroom, which means that we can actually communicate over the weekend. We can share work in the evening. They can contact me if they have any problems through this platform, and as a result of that, I do really believe, and through experience of having a form before, that our class, despite these restrictions and not being able to kind of communicate with other year groups have benefited in the respect that actually we have become a really strong unit that I think will go forward and have a really special time this year. So I'm sorry I couldn't meet you all on Thursday, as I know last Thursday we would have all met kind of together and in a more normal sphere, but I hope you can get an essence of what we've been doing together in form and what the girls have been achieving outside of form. One last thing I would like to say is I don't want to be too arrogant about Severn Red, but I have had countless teachers come up to me and thank me on their behaviour, for how hard they have worked, for how beautifully they treated the library. So I really do feel that I have a very special group of girls that I'm looking after every morning and afternoon. So thank you for your daughters, and I hope at some point in the future we can meet face to face.
Red are gathered around a particularly laden table full of harvest gifts. And here we can see a close-up of their winning entry in terms of best team effort for the Black History Month DAW. At the top we have some amazing poems. On the bottom at the left we have Celebrate Black History Month written in a number of languages, some lovely drawings, and of course not forgetting the important flags representing some of the African countries in our school.
Hello, my name is Miss Brooke. I am Severn Yellow's form tutor. Just as a little update how the girls have been getting on this half term, I have received really wonderful feedback from their teachers, particularly in English, Maths and in RS. As their form tutor, as you should know from my introduction, I am their first point of call should they need anything, and that goes for you as well. In terms of what we've been getting up to in form time, we spent a lot of time in doing assemblies, thought for the day, where the girls have been really engaged. We're looking at the school ethos words and what they mean to the girls in their lives. Other things we've been doing is the girls have been getting to know their Year 7 prefect, Bonita, who is another point of call should they need anything. We had a Zoom call with her and we had a catch up as to what her experience has been like at school, and hopefully she'll be a really positive role model for them as well. As well as that, we've had a harvest festival. The girls were fantastic. In particular, Severn Yellow brought in lots and lots of things for Harvest Festival, and we took a lovely photo all together, which they should be really proud of that and their kindness and generosity. On top of that, the last 2 weeks we've been celebrating Black History Month. The girls have really enjoyed getting involved in various events. We're hosting talks during their lunchtimes, which they've attended and have been fantastic. We are doing a Black History Month DAW competition, which the girls have been really enjoying, getting creative and doing all sorts, which hopefully we'll do very, very well in at the end of this week. Thank you, and it's really lovely to get to meet you virtually, and please do not hesitate to contact me if you have any questions.
And last but never least, we have Severn Yellow in front of their array of harvest gifts, and of course the winning entry overall for the best content for the Black History Month DAW. So on the left hand side you can see an overall view of it, and on the right hand side we've got a close-up of My Hero Is, and your daughters all wrote about you as their parents and why you are their hero. Just underneath that we also have two outstanding Black representatives, one who was the first woman aviator, Black woman aviator, and the other who was the first British Black bus driver. So a really good and inclusive choice for their Black History Month DAW. Our parents are an important part of the school-student triangle, and we really value and welcome your input. Not just because you support us financially via the school fund, but also because you as parents have a wealth of experience and you know your daughters well. We have two parent governors who sit on the governing body, and they bring a completely different perspective, but a very important one, to the day-to-day running of the school. We also have the St Saviour's and St Olave's Parent and Friends Association. At the moment, due to COVID restrictions, that is not functioning because we can't really have any face-to-face meetings. However, I do have a list of some 35 names of parents who during the summer indicated that they would be very happy to join in and get involved with the school. So I look forward to the day we can actually get things going along those lines. So what can you expect from us as a school? Firstly, the simple but important things are done well. That includes uniform, homework, looking after your daughters, communicating with you. We attach a lot of importance to success, which we reward in a number of ways, and I will go into those a teeny bit later. Key information is shared so that you can support us, and that includes data about your daughter's progress, but also a belief that learning outside of the classroom is as important as learning within the classroom. We have an excellent range of trips that would normally take place and extracurricular activities, and those will resume as soon as we can make that happen. So I mentioned some of the rewards. Students can earn credits and commendations in each of their subjects, and those get awarded at the end of every term. We recognise and celebrate high attenders. That could be 100%, but we have excellent attendance overall, and our average, even in these rather unusual times, is about 97%. We also give awards for achievement and endeavour in every subject at the end of every term, and that is something to really work forward to. We contact you twice yearly, once at the end of December and once towards the end of July, to give you what we call a record of progress. We tend to abbreviate that to ROP. This details the progress that your daughter is making in each of the subjects that she learns. Additionally, she receives a mark for conduct and for effort and for homework. A reminder of the school day. I know I did send this out to you all in July and again over the summer, but just so that you know the rhythm of the school day that your daughter is following. As you can see, we expect everyone in by 8:40 for registration. There is time spent in the form between 8:40 and 9:10 when the first lessons begin, and that continues right through until 3:30, which is when lessons end. Between 3:30 and 4 o'clock, students may need to remain in school to discuss something with the teacher, and so we do ask that you don't make any medical or dental or other appointments before that time, as you may not be able to make them. And finally, I know this is a subject that you are all very, keen to learn about. This is the Year 7 homework timetable. Your daughter should have copied this into her daybook. And finally, I hope you won't mind if I leave you with a few reminders. First of all, punctuality. Our attendance is excellent, but punctuality, there's still a few girls who are regularly arriving late. Now, this is partly down to the buses, and of course we realise that not all buses are for students. Some of them are reserved for adults, and that they don't always stop when they should do. But I think what this means is that perhaps some of you need to be leaving home that little bit earlier to make sure that these kind of uncertain travel times don't affect your punctuality. The other thing that remains highly relevant at the moment is, of course, always having a mask on you and always wearing that when you're in the corridors or moving around school to get down to the lunch, to the dining hall, etc. But also hand washing. That needs to be when you come into school and also before and after eating. finally, something that is really close to my heart is food and drink. In a normal school year, we have the canteen, which is open for breakfast, and there is free porridge available as well as a range of other things, and it's also open at break for the purchase of a variety of snacks. This can't happen at the moment because of our bubbles and because the kitchen staff are very stretched, having to be in 3 different serving areas at once. So this means that your daughters are bringing in their own food and drink for snacks at break time. We have noticed a lot of students coming in with huge sharing bags of crisps, popcorn, sweets, Pringles, and cans or bottles of fizzy drink. Now, this gives a sugar rush, which isn't necessarily a great idea. What you need are slow carbs to ensure that you've got the energy you need to get through your lessons, but in a good way, not a sugar high level way. So I would be grateful if you could have a word with your daughters just to make sure that they're on the right track and that they understand that the food content of those big bags of crisps or sweets or those fizzy drinks is not ideal when it's on a daily basis. Obviously, as a special treat every now and again, we all do that, and that's not a problem. But I'm really relying on you just to help remind them as they're leaving the house every morning. I do hope that you have enjoyed what we've put together for you. Obviously, it's the sort of thing that you can watch as and when now, because it's on it's on YouTube, and so if you don't get to watch it all in one go, then that is fine. And don't forget that you have our email addresses, and you can contact school via phone as well if there are any questions that you need answering and that we haven't managed to address in this presentation. Take care and stay safe, everyone. Thank you.
Reverend Imogen will now say a prayer and a blessing for us all.
And now I'm going to finish this session with a prayer. So let's pray. Loving God, we give you great thanks for every girl who is here in Year 7, and thank you for calling them to be part of this school community. We give you thanks for every gift and talent that you have given to them. May you enable us as parents or carers and as a school community to help to fan into flame the gifts that you have given to our Year 7s throughout their time here. May you enable us to see always the goodness and potential that each student has. And may you enable us to help them to shine as lights in the world and to really know who they are and how they fit into the world and how they can be themselves to the very best of their ability in our society. So may your blessing be upon every girl in Year 7 this day and forevermore. Amen.